Work TRC for students in Poland. A more popular topic for a couple of reasons, and it is possible for you to apply for Work TRC while still being a full-time student. How can you do that and why you should? We're going to cover all of this in today's video. For whom Work TRC might be a better idea than first or another student residence permit? Well, this is a bit broad topic. However, I have some ideas who might be beneficial of that. First, if you cannot gather enough money to put on your bank statement, which automatically would deny you for the student residence card. In this case, the Work TRC is a safer option. Option number 2 is for those who already have a stable position, they don't plan to quit it, at least until the decision comes. So, if you are in this situation, you found yourself a permanent job, maybe it would save you some time in the future and also money in the future to apply for the work residence card after you graduate. Maybe it's already a good time to take this step instead of getting another student permit. Let's start from the requirements for Work TRC as a student. So you need obviously the same set of documentation, which is Annex 1 filled out by your employer, 4 photos, copy of the passport, application forms, proof of payment. The proof of payment 440, unlike 340 for the student residence card. The information to those that might be confused about this part. You will need the same documents as if you would apply for work residence card while not being a student, meaning you have to meet formal requirements, photos, proof of payment, passport copy, application forms, and Annex number 1. What else? You need to submit documentation from ZUS or private insurance that your health insurance is covered. What you also need to submit is your contract. Other stuff, which I haven't mentioned, is labor market test. And there are ways to go around the need for labor market test. This is why very often people ask me, for example, if they need to have work permit in order to apply for residence permit. As a rule, you don't need to. However, submitting work permit will exempt you from doing the labor market test by your employer. You are a student, so what can you do? And you have 2 options, maybe 3. Option number 1 is submitting the application using your student confirmation letter instead of the labor market test. Submitting student confirmation instead of labor market test is a good idea. However, you need to be aware that your residence card will be valid only until the date that is mentioned in the student confirmation. So in most cases, 30th of September or 31st of March, depending on which semester you started your studies on. So this is option 1. Option 2 is your employer can do labor market test, which would enable you to get the residence permit for 3 years maximum. Of course, it can be shorter, but this is the option to get your residence card for up to 3 years. What is the option 3 I mentioned that maybe it's a possibility? There is a list, actually 2 different lists. List of people exempt from labor market test because of Ministry of Family and Social Policy, and those exempt from labor market test by the appropriate vojevoda, so the authority issuing those work permits and residence permits. How to find the list of the professions? For example, here on the screen you can see those professions exempt from labor market test by vojevoda mazowiecki, and now you can see those from Wojewoda Wielkopolski over here, but every Wojewoda has published a list like that, so you can find it on their websites. If you decide to submit with student confirmation, your card will be shorter, but it's less of a hassle for the employer. Not many employers might be willing to hire a student for which they would still need to complete formalities. So, applying for Work TRC while being a student using your student confirmation is the pretty much hassle-free, except of filling out the Annex 1, way for your employer, while submitting with labor market test, or preferably having a job that by default doesn't require a labor market test, is the best way to obtain your TRC as a student, as your employer might not be so happy to complete many formalities. As one of the benefits of hiring students, this absolute lack of formalities related to it. If you are not sure which type of TRC you should apply for, or you don't know whether you need labor market test or not, how to talk to your employer about this matter, what is Annex, what is Work TRC, get in touch with us. We will discuss everything in detail on a free consultation. The contact details are below, and I will see you in the next video.